Montana. Yesterday we got the meat hanging, moved camp. My friend Tyler, he got sick from packing out elk. Like complete heat exhaustion. He's a paramedic. He's tough. He could use an IV. So he took yesterday off. Drank 3 gallons of water, slept. And then this morning he didn't wake up to go hunting. So I hope he can recover. It's basically my fault. Yesterday night I went and scouted Montana side. Got on a 5x5. Got good footage of him. Didn't want to shoot him. And now I'm about 20 miles north. Side hilling into a drainage. But we're back in business. We're gonna go find some bulls bugling. There's not a lot of hunting pressure in here. I parked next to one 4-wheeler. And I'm quite confident I can go and dive deeper into the bottom of these canyons where these bulls live. Let's go.
Cause I want everything and nothing at all. Yeah, I want everything and nothing at all. Cause I want everything and nothing at all.
I got a herd right here. I'm a little bit higher than them. They're just on the other side of this ridge. They meet together right there. I'll have to side heel over and make sure that I don't get winded. I also want to keep an eye on them, but they're really spread out. I see this could be a big herd. Right now I've seen about 15 and I haven't heard a bugle yet, but we may be having to follow them around. See if I didn't bring my spotting scope, so I can't phone scope them. And it's a little smoky to get you guys great footage, but let me get down here in class and see what the bull is. It's probably a good bull. There's elk everywhere. Yeah, so the wind definitely changed. The bull never bugled. I didn't know there was that many spikes. There's 9 in the group with maybe 2 cows and a calf. The rest spikes and a walled up 5x5 or maybe a little bit of a 5x6. They went right through the saddle over here. I'm cutting back in. I want to get in the timber and do some Phelps game calls today. So it's September 14th. See, I killed on the 12th. Yesterday was a rest day and a scout day in the evening. So here we are. I'm pretty beat up, but honestly, given the circumstances, I feel fan-freaking-tastic. And all I need is some bugle juice and I'll be back in the game. Now, if I kill one over here, we're gonna seriously have to figure out logistics about maybe getting somebody with horses, paying them cash, or hiring a legal outfitter if they can. So it's pretty deep. And I killed my hunting partner Tyler, and Jake had to go home, and my dad is way back in Idaho, so I'm hunting solo in Montana, and I kind of want to knock one down here so we can go to Wyoming, cowboy state. Anyways. Okay, I got a bull, a cow, and 2 calves. They just crossed a meadow. They're kind of angling down there. There's a finger between us, and there's a water source down here, so we'll see. I might drop in after them. Wind's still swirly, but maybe these elk are coming through the saddle as well. And by the time they get here, that sun should be good. Maybe we can get some consistent wind, so.
Hey, what's up guys? Dan Staten here with ElkShape. I wanted to personally invite anybody wanting to punch their elk tag in 2021 to attend one of our ElkShape camps. Check out the link in the video description on where our camp locations are. And if you are interested, use the discount code YouTube and save $50 off registration. This offer expires December 31st, 2020. Let's make 2021 the best year yet, and let's get your elk tag punched, and I look forward to meeting you.
Also, I saw the mule deer buck that hiking in yesterday. He's a little 3x3.
handsome little devil, but we're gonna shoot something a little bit juicier. So let me keep an eye on these guys. There is a pond down there. They're probably gonna go get water and then hopefully jam over, but I don't know, we'll see. But it's good to just get here and see the mule deer buck, a spike buck, and then what looks to be a big 5-point, but they're ways out. I didn't bring my spotter, so sorry. Good morning. Mid-September, September 1-5. My buddy Jake went home. He should come back, but he had to deal with some family stuff. And then my buddy Tyler has missed 2.5 days of elk hunting. He got heat exhaustion from packing that elk out with me. And today's his first day back, so God bless you, Tyler. I wish you the best. He's over in Idaho. I'm about 40 miles away from Idaho. Camped over here by myself. I've spent the past 2 days in a very high pressure area from a vantage point in the evenings only, studying elk. They are literally living the furthest distance from all access points. And I figured out that I could sleep in, see where everyone's parked. No one's parked here. I'm going in with the wind in my face, and I'm going to meet these elk in their bedding area. 2 bulls, 4 cows, 2 calves. Come with me. We're gonna do some soft calling and work one of these bulls. I'm excited. Well, guys, I hate to say it, but I've spent all day in here. All day. And I've gotten 2 bulls to answer, and they went up to the top of the basin where they could have slipped out the saddle to the other basin. Not interested. Right here in this very meadow. About this time, I watched 8 elk come through last night. I seen their tracks. I hiked in that way. They're not in there today. Unless a miracle, I'm gonna work my way out. It's gonna take me about 2 hours. So I'm gonna hunt my way out, which is completely against my doctrine. You hunt till dark, then walk out in the dark. But I got big plans for tomorrow, and I probably won't come back to here. This is total summer area for bulls. Anyways, I'll work my way out slowly, glass a few little spots. September 15th, kind of disappointing. Maybe tomorrow. Good morning, September 16th. This is the video footage you never see. It's like I got up at 4, which is 3 a.m. my time, and drove my truck an hour. So at 5, got out of the 4-wheeler, new area, gypsy hunting, never pounded in the same country. And I got another 20 minutes on the 4-wheeler, and then I should be at a good glassing spot come daylight, listening for bugles. Let's do it, guys. September 16th. I can't even believe how smoky it is. That's all I can see. Everything else is just smoke. Pretty sure I'm gonna die of lung cancer and I don't smoke. I've heard a couple of little grunts down in there. So we're gonna go listen there. I've seen 2 elk, and I've seen, 3 elk across the canyon, barely through the smoke. Nothing bugled in this basin, nothing bugled in that basin. A couple of bugles, I'm gonna say 2.5, but nothing. It's September 16th, man. No moon. Been up here for
2 hours now. I got up extra early today to try to locate elk in this basins. So I am bumming. I think I'm gonna pull the plug here in Montana and get the hell to Wyoming. Enough of this. I don't know. I assume it's the hunting pressure for sure. There's been a lot of hunting pressure. But I don't see a lot of boot tracks down here. This is kind of a haul. Like, you kill an elk here, you're kind of like, might regret it a little bit, but that's okay. But nothing out in these meadows. I've seen elk right here before, not too many days ago. So I'm gonna be patient and slowly work my way around this rim, throwing bugles now. The goal was to get uninitiated bugles. It's my favorite, but now we have to initiate. All right, guys, that is a wrap in Montana. I'll give you a landscape view because you can't see anything. It's all smoked out. Pretty terrible. Yeah, we're gonna head that way, back to the four-wheeler, go 50, 60 miles, cross into Idaho, go another 20 miles, make it to my truck or my camp, pack all my crap up, and get ready to head to Wyoming. Goal was to get 2 bulls knocked down before Wyoming. Didn't happen, but we got 1 down, so that's good. Hopefully my dad's getting 1 today. And yeah, kind of a surprising 4 or 5 bugles way down the distance. No crazy rut, no elk moving. I was able to glass every opening on all these basins. Nothing, just a couple of elk across the canyon, and they were all spread out. So I don't know, it's weird, but we're out of here. Let's go to Wyoming.
Dude, I thought you were going to Wyoming.
Yeah, so did I. So after I killed that bull, I'm hunting technically with my dad, although we haven't hunted at all together up to this point. He's, when I am at his base camp, we talk and communicate. And the plan was to head straight to Wyoming. He was kind of encouraged that I had killed and that there was other bulls in that area. And so he was kind of like, hey, don't really want to leave elk to go find new elk. Let's stick around for a couple more days and try to get these elk killed. Tyler, however, was also sharing camp with my dad, and he's probably the main reason I didn't pack up and just go solo to Wyoming. Was we're not sure looking back if it was like heat stroke, heat exhaustion. I don't know what happened, but he ran out of water. I remember asking him on that video, hey, how much water you got left? And he said 1 liter. And that wasn't enough for what we had to do. That was a really bad pack out, guys. I mean, like maybe my top 3 worst. It was that bad. And anyways, he didn't hunt the next day. And he didn't hunt the next day.
And Tyler's a diehard.
Oh, when? Like, first off, if he was healthy and normal, I can't keep up with him. His stride length is too long. He's a firefighter, paramedic. He's been doing CrossFit for like, I don't know how many years, 7 years or something. So dude's in great shape, but we actually felt like we needed to like keep an eye on him. I can tell him this now, but I actually called his wife without him knowing and been like, hey, I don't think Tyler's okay. You should probably keep an eye on him. But anyway, so we stuck around Idaho. I had a tag in Montana, so I would stay at camp with my dad, and then I would leave camp at 3 in the morning, drive in the truck over an hour, and then over an hour 4-wheeler ride just to hunt Montana. And then I'd have to come back late. I probably should have just camped in Montana, but I wanted to check on Tyler and be by my dad. So we ended up staying a couple more days, if you will, and put off Wyoming.
Speaking of your dad, he's like in the end of August. Oh, Dan, I got this Wyoming tag.
Oh yeah, so you guys will get to know my dad a little bit in the series. My dad is super opposite of me. I've said it before in video. Like, he's super nice and chill and laid back.
He's a hoot.
And he's a riot. I remember him telling him to put in for Wyoming, and apparently he did, but he didn't even check job results. and he opens his mailbox up in like July or August and says, oh, I got a Wyoming tag. So yeah, that's my dad for you. But yeah, this hunt was cool. Passed on a 5x5. I found a really good glassing spot in a new to me area, and I learned so much country this year, just forcing myself to hunt new places day in and day out. So found a good vantage, studied and observed these elk, and was able to get in front of them and watch that 5x5. But I just killed a bull, so I wasn't like super, I don't know, itchy trigger finger wasn't me. So, but it was cool encounter, and I learned some new country, found some awesome meadows and wallows and good elk habitat, but the elk just weren't fired up. It was like a lull. And guys, that happens in September. That you can come across lulls in certain areas. And so I really like the first week in September and the last week in September. And then in the middle is kind of 50-50. It can be awesome or it can not be.
It all ebbs and flows.
Yeah.
But the moral of the story is you're out there doing your thing and giving it your best, man.
100%.
Well, let's hop in here and let's react to a few comments. This is a great question from Gregory Church. Probably one of the most common questions you hear, but I don't think it gets old answering it either because it just helps people out a ton. Gregory says, looking at Montana for 2021 as well, you said this was a new area for you, general or controlled, and how did you find elk, man, to summarize?
Yeah, it's no problem, man. General, of course, that's OTC, or for those listening, like a general tag is you have to draw it in Montana, but you can hunt several different general units, and it's mainly opportunity hunt. It's not a controlled, it's not a limited entry, it's not super special, but you're hunting. How do we find out? I mean,
Do you e-scout?
Yes.
Rewind this really quick. So every year after September, since I've known Dan, in about October, he asked me what I'm doing for next September. This process all starts a long way back where you're just like e-scouting and spending time on your computer, and it all adds up. But go ahead.
Yeah. I don't want to talk about this publicly, but here's the deal. If you know how to hunt elk and know how to kill elk, that's really not the issue. The issue is trying to get the best possible tags in your hand. And when you're like me, as soon as you get home, you're already scheming for next year. And that's kind of what it takes. When I knew I had a Montana tag, and I've hunted Montana before. In fact, I think I've killed every time I've hunted Montana. I've had a few tags. So I've had good luck in Montana. Their season's very generous, but I will say I did a scouting trip with the cameraman, Jake. I did a couple scouting trips on my own. So I did get boots on the ground scouting, and that was inspecting what I had e-scouted. And I also study every state's fish and game websites and figure out their elk densities. And then I try to figure out where I would want to be if I was an elk. Obviously food, water, cover, and where do I need to get away from pressure, find the elk densities. And so Montana's got really good website, really thorough. And then there's great resources out there like, Eastman's Tag Hub. That's one that gets overlooked. That's like a dream for e-scouting, Top Rut, and then Google Earth.
Yeah, I think that gives them that's a good once over.
We dive deep on that stuff on ElkShape camps. Like we literally pull a computer up and show people how to do that, how to transfer KLMs from the computer to their OnX or to their base map. And e-scouting is pretty important.
Raiden Lindley is like, hey, what is your yardage for a quartering 2-shot, which is not ideal for elk anatomy, but...
Yeah, so I don't have a set, like this is the distance or whatever. It's almost like you have to have a parameters, like is the elk feeding or is he full alert looking right at me and potentially suspicious or flinchy? Because you don't have a lot of margin of error, especially if an animal hears that arrow coming or sees the movement and flinches. So their body language is the most important thing. In this specific instance, I slid down to 58, but there's a downhill angle. He was looking at the decoy and I'm behind the decoy. And so he may catch a movement and flinch. So I just did not like that shot. Now, if he was quartering 2 and feeding and had his head down, or he was chill, might have taken the shot. But again, it comes down to what you practice, and it comes down to knowing yourself. And so for me, that's not a great opportunity. It's early in the hunt. I elected to be patient.
There's a lot to be said too about the whole front shoulder of an elk. Like if the front shoulder is forward versus back, you're talking about this massive scapula.
Yeah.
Massive scapula that's either protecting or opening up this, which is where all that stuff you want to dig into is. Yeah, just watching what that front shoulder doing is a big deal. Bart Sneed, what's up, Bart? Says, been on the fence about purchasing a decoy just because it's another item I have to worry about. I'm in your camp, Bart. But He says, really seems like I should have one on my bag of tricks after watching this episode. Great job, guys.
Yeah, man, I'm with you on that. So I've owned the Montana decoy that I had on this video forever, and I've never used it until this hunt. Because I'm usually hunting, if you go back in my history, I've primarily been a North Idaho elk hunter, brush country. You don't need a decoy. You don't need binos. But I've always had that in my truck just in case. Yeah. And we kind of noticed early in the hunt that these elk were kind of getting us picked off earlier than we'd like. So Jake had a deke, I had a deke. We called it double dekes. I've also purchased one of those decoys that goes in front of your bow that you can shoot through. It's an elk. It's a cow. I still haven't used that, but I take it with me on these hunts because you just never know. And you've said it before, chameleon, you got to be able to change your game to what's going on. And I think that gives you a leg up. So I vote get one or something similar to it. And I think there's heads up decoy ones that have just the head. I don't own that, but yeah, give yourself every opportunity to change tactics and separate yourself and be ready to be a chameleon.
Yeah, double deeks. Shout out to cameraman Jake Webb at JakeWebb559. Go follow his Instagram.
What is 559?
I don't know, but Jake was an integral part of this whole process. Like, somebody had to follow Dan. It is the least,
Easy.
it is the least attractive job you could probably post in our area, neck of the woods.
Which, by the way, if you're a young whippersnapper and you don't make a lot of noise, you don't complain, and you can hike far, and you want to run a DSLR over my shoulder, we are taking applications for 2021 to follow Tim and myself. So reach out to us, look us up. We have ways to get a hold of us through Instagram, email. We're looking for camera persons for 2021.
Yeah, comment below, and we're really going to talk about that the beginning of the year, kind of how to figure this whole process out. But if you're interested, hey, just reach out and let's start. We want to build that network. So we need awesome camera people.
Guys, thanks for all your support. You have no idea how much effort and energy this guy's been putting in. I roughed all these episodes up, and then he's got to try to make sense of them. We've done voiceovers. We're doing these post-production shows, and we do it because we love all of you guys. Thank you for your support. If you love us, give us some love. Hit the thumbs up, subscribe, tap the bell, tell a friend, and keep coming back because we got more videos to drop the rest of the month.
Thanks, guys.
Same one.
Just down and back, and it's not that cool. Are you filming that?
Yep.
Razors everywhere.